Hello students, welcome to the fifth and the last part of our lesson Synthetic Fibers and Plastics. In our previous video we have learned what are plastics and their various properties and uses. Now in this session we are going to study how plastics are affecting our health and environment. So in this lesson we are going to study plastic and environment, biodegradable and non-biodegradable substances, health and environment hazards of plastic, and some solutions to the problems created by plastic. And then it would be followed by the exercise. Plastics in environment. Children, you know, today we use plastic very much. And whenever we go for shopping, you must have seen that we carry the goods in polythene bags like this, and most of the things which we buy, the packed good, it comes in plastic packaging like in plastic bottles or in plastic containers. As a result, tons of plastic waste is generated every day. But disposal of this plastic waste is a very big problem, because if we try to burn the plastic waste, it produces harmful and toxic gases. And at the same time, plastic is non-biodegradable. Now, what is non-biodegradable? So, let's see what is biodegradable and non-biodegradable substances. Biodegradable substances. The substances which can easily break down into simple and harmless compounds by the action of bacteria are called biodegradable substances. So few examples of biodegradable substances are fruit, vegetable, leftover food, paper, wood, cotton, wool, etc. All these natural things, they decay over the time by the action of bacteria, and then it get mixed with the soil. As a result, this waste can be treated easily or it get mixed with soil. Whereas non-biodegradable substances are the substances which cannot easily break down into simple harmless compounds by the action of bacteria, and they lay on the soil as it is. So few examples of non-biodegradable substances are plastics, then synthetic fibers, metal, glass, electronic goods. So all these things, they are non-biodegradable. They don't break down easily and they lay on the ground for years and years. And as a result, the disposal of these substances becomes a big problem, and it poses hazard to our environment and our health also. So now let's see what are the different hazards and on our health and environment because of plastic. Health and environment hazards of plastic. Children, you must have observed that many a time the waste pickers, they gather the waste and then burn it to dispose it of. But when plastic waste is burnt, they do not get completely burnt and produce toxic gases and smoke, thereby causing air pollution. So such type of smoke and toxic gases are produced due to burning of plastic, which is very harmful for our environment as well as for our health. Now sometimes plastic waste is dumped in water bodies where it does not decompose and lay as it is, thereby causing water pollution in such water bodies. Now we have just seen that plastics are non-biodegradable. Thus, if we dump the plastic in the landfills, it will lay there for longer time, for years and years, and thereby causing soil pollution. Now people do throw plastic waste here and there. So such plastic waste like wrappers, bottle, etc., which is thrown in public places, makes the place look dirty, and at the same time it provides breeding grounds for the germs and insects, which is a threat for our health. Now let's see some more hazards caused due to plastic. Many a times the stray animals eat food waste from the garbage, and in this course they sometimes swallow the plastic bags. This choke their respiratory system and sometimes go in their digestive tract also, which may cause suffocation and death in these animals. So it is very harmful for the stray animals who feed on this plastic waste. Many a times the polythene bags which are thrown here and there, they clog in drains and the sewer lines, thereby blocking the drainage and the sewer system. Now next hazard is that many chemicals which are used in the preparation of these plastics can cause harmful diseases like cancer among the workers who are working in these plastic industry. So these chemicals are very harmful for the workers who are working over there. Now we have seen that plastic can be recycled. So when recycling of plastics, some chemicals and coloring agents are added to it, which are harmful and unhygienic for us. So we should avoid using plastic containers to store food. Now the waste which comes from plastic manufacturing industry is thrown directly into water bodies. Thus it affects the chemical property of water. And if we drink this water, it becomes very harmful, and it can also go in the agriculture land, thereby infecting the food produced over there. So these are all the health and environment hazards of plastic. Now let's see few solutions which can minimize the problems created by plastic waste. So for the first thing we should remember 5R principle. Now what are these 5 R's? These 5 R's are refuse, or I can say reject, reduce, reuse, recycle, repair, or I can say recover. So these are 5 R's by which we can minimize the problems created by the plastics. So first principle says reject or refuse. So on the first place we should refuse to take any plastic goods. And then reduce. That means if it is not possible to completely reject the plastics, then we can minimize the use of plastic, or we can say we should reduce the use of plastic in our life. If some plastic goods are there in our house, then we should reuse them. We should not throw them as it is. If possible, we should reuse those plastic. If the plastic cannot be reused, then send it for recycling. The thermoplastics can be recycled. So these plastics can be sent for recycling, where they are melted and formed into some other substances. And the last principle is recover or repair. So if few plastic goods they get damaged, then we should try to repair them and recover it, so that we should not throw it as it is and add to the plastic waste. So we should try to repair and reuse those plastic goods. So these are 5R principles to reduce the problems caused by plastic. Now let's see what we can do for this. First thing is avoid use of plastic. For this, carry cotton or jute bag and say no to the plastic bags. If you have plastic goods like plastic bags or containers, then clean them and reuse for other purposes. Always segregate the waste as biodegradable and non-biodegradable. That means the waste which is coming from natural source like peels of vegetables, fruits, leftover food, these all are biodegradable substances. So segregate the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste and use separate bins for disposing dry and wet waste. So you should use a green bin for wet waste, or I can say the biodegradable waste, and a blue bean is used for dry waste which is having non-biodegradable and recyclable substances. You should not throw plastic waste on roads or public places. Now you must have seen in most of the public places these bins are being placed. So you should always throw the waste in this dustbins and should not litter here and there. Do not dispose the plastic waste in sewage system. Just now we have seen that these plastic bags and bottles they get clogged in the drainage system. So we should not dispose this in the drainage line. Avoid storing food in the recycled plastic containers. So just now I have told you that recycled plastic contains harmful chemicals. So we should avoid storing food or water in recycled plastic containers. So these are few solutions to the problems which are created by plastics. So children, I hope you have understood the problems which are caused by the use of plastic and how we can reduce these problems. So now you can answer the following questions in your notebook. So that's all for today's session. Thank you children.